Happy birthday, Taurus. Welcome to your May 2022 astrological forecast. So, of course, the month starts off with the sun in your first house, in your sign, right? Okay? But, Mercury is also in Gemini since like the end of April. And it's not even in direct motion for very long before it turns retrograde on the 10th and falls back into Taurus on the 22nd. So you'll have Mercury back in your first house again. Okay, and the Uranus, the planet Uranus, is still there for a few more years yet. And then Venus, your ruling planet, moves into your sign on the 28th. So you're getting an awful lot of attention right now, even just having the sun here. But when Mercury was in your sign, I think like last month in direct motion, you had a lot more contact with people. You initiated a lot more phone calls or whatever. Usually you're on the receiving end also, but usually you're the one that brings about the communication when Mercury's in your first house or in your sign. So if you had something, I don't know, some kind of contact with someone last month that maybe you had a fairly important conversation with them, or just in passing, it was whatever kind of conversation, and you learned something about anyone or anything, when Mercury goes retrograde back into your sign again, into your first house, this subject matter may come up again, you could be even reviewing something, a conversation that you had with someone, that maybe started thinking like, well, what did they mean by that, or what are they trying to tell me? You know what I mean? You're it's not like you're overthinking it, it's just that you're wondering about some of the past conversations that you've had over the last month. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I do have a video on Mercury retrograde, and there's a link below to that, so you may want to listen to that because Mercury is going to be in your sign in retrograde motion, okay, eventually. It does start off, though, in Gemini, in your second house where you have Gemini. Okay, your house of income, earned income. It's your possessions, your valuables, the things that you personally value. There's a new moon here on the 30th, so there'll be a new beginning in this area. But for now, the sun will be moving here on the 20th, and then there's just this Mercury being retrograde here. This could be one of those kind of, the check is in the mail kind of thing. With this retrograde Mercury in your second house, maybe you never received payment for something, or a refund, or money of some kind that should have gotten to you, but it didn't. So even an increase in your pay rate. You still have Saturn in your 10th house here. You're still climbing that ladder of success with some boss, like, I don't know, breathing down your neck or just loading you down with so much work it's ridiculous. You can't do anything. So anyway, you could finally be, receiving something, some kind of, I don't know, benefit to actually doing a lot of the stuff that you're doing. Having Saturn in your 10th house of your career just means that a lot of times there's someone that, like a higher up, it could even be a colleague though, that maybe even takes credit for your work, but they load you down with so much work you don't have time for anything else. Your job seems like a bore, whatever. Anyways, when the planets move into your second house, though, you'll be all lit up with money, like thinking about money. And Mars is going to have an extended stay in Gemini in a few months. So you're going to have Mars in your second house, meaning you're going after money, But before it hits your second house, it'll be in your sign. So when Mars moves into your sign after it leaves Aries, look out. right? So when Venus enters your sign, though, on the 28th, okay, into next month, I'll get into it a little bit more then, but I just have to say that, you know, when Venus is in your first house or in your own sign or even in your 10th house, people are just so smitten with you. You know, you put on like such you make a very good first impression to anyone at this time, but because you have the planet Uranus in your first house also at the same time as you have Venus, you know, complete strangers could come up to you and compliment you and, I don't know, say some pretty weird things. You could even develop, like, you could have like a secret admirer that you didn't know about. They could be, I don't know, they could be like stalker material possibly. Who knows, you know, but the attraction is, you're really attracting a lot of people towards you. And it doesn't have to be just romance, but it is really making you, Venus is making you look really appealing. Okay, so people will hit on you a lot more than they normally do. But because of that planet Uranus being in your first house also, there's unusual circumstances or people coming into your life that are attracted to you. So maybe you're attracting, I don't know, some people that maybe you wouldn't want to. Okay. Okay, but first off, okay, the month does start off with Mars still in Pisces, okay, up until the 24th. Jupiter is still in Pisces up until the 10th, and of course Neptune is still in Pisces, and where you have Pisces is your 11th house of your friends and associates, acquaintances, the crowd that you hang out in and where you go to hang out. It's also social media or any kind of group or organization that you belong to, and it's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So having Jupiter here should have brought at least one new person into your circle of friends, okay, that benefited you in some way. You really like them, you have a good rapport with them, they're becoming a close friend of yours, okay. Having Mars here does make you a little bit more goal-oriented as far as going after your dreams, hopes, or wishes. If there is like an organization that you would like to belong to, though, this is when you would do something like that. You know, you have a lot of like spunk right now and going after what you want, period. Okay, you want to reach a certain goal, or you want something done in as far as your wishes go. Okay, but this is a pretty sociable time here. Especially like with, you know, like I said, with Mars and Jupiter still here, though, together, traveling together brings about, it's called fortunate action or even dumb luck, like being in the right place at the right time. You could even just finally, you know, when Jupiter leaves a sign, sometimes leaves a sign to go into the next zodiac sign, it sometimes leaves like a really nice gift of some kind, you know, on your doorstep, you know, in case maybe you didn't get any benefit of Jupiter the whole time it was there, you know. So could be something or someone new coming into your life, even this month, you know, right before or just as Jupiter is moving into Aries, which it does on the 24th, where you have Aries in your chart is your 12th house. Okay, so Jupiter moves here on the 10th, Mars moves here on the 24th, and Venus is here actually from the 2nd on. Okay, it's mostly here most of the month before it moves into your sign on the 28th. Okay, so you know, this could be, you know, you have this really nice, these three planets all in your 12th house of behind the scenes actions, you know, goings on, you know, but it's actions taken by you or someone else in secret or just behind the scenes. Okay, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a secret, but this is also the house of your subconscious mind. In the house of solitude, it's a very, well, it's a psychic house. It's your psychic abilities. It's your mind, okay? I'd have to say, because like usually when Mars is in your 12th house transiting, and especially in a natal chart, if Mars is in your 12th house, throughout your life, you know, if it's natal, you'll always have someone in your life that is supposedly your friend, but this friend is always secretly jealous and envious of you, okay? A lot of times, like in transit, like this is now, there could be someone in your group of friends that is working behind the scenes against you. They're undermining you. They're trying to turn your group of friends or whatever against you in some way or other. But it's obviously not going to work. You have, excuse me, Venus and Jupiter here at the same time, you know, so that Jupiter always acts as a buffer, meaning that you never get the full effect of what that planet does, because Jupiter is there like being like a like an in-between, like a planet, like fending off anything. Like you'll never get the full brunt of something. Okay, now Mars, though, in the 12th house doesn't just apply to other people. It's also you. So you could be involved in something secret right now. It could be something that it's personal, something you're working on, something that you're doing. It could even be something very charitable. 12th house is charities and whatever. But you don't need to broadcast it anywhere. You don't really think it's anyone's business, and it isn't. But you could also be involved in maybe a romance of some kind with someone that you're just not ready to go public just yet. You know, so you want to spend time with this person before you figure out if this is the one, right? So there is, I do have to mention, a full moon lunar eclipse on the 16th in Scorpio, your opposite sign of Scorpio, in your 7th house. It's directly across from your 1st house of Taurus. Okay, so 7th house is your close relationships, your partnerships of any kind. It's arrangements or agreements that you have with other people. Because there's a lunar eclipse on the full moon, the effects of the full moon will last a little bit longer than usual. So this would just be, you know, something occurring in a close relationship. It could be a breakup, you know. It could be just not really a breakup, but wanting to see other people, you know, making some kind of an arrangement like that. Or, you know, you always have to keep in mind, as long as the planet Uranus is in your sign, there's always going to be flipped out stuff happening to you. Okay, so this could be like one of those times where somebody surprises you even with the way they just blow up, you know. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to, I don't know, be anywhere. You don't want to create a scene of any kind, whatever, okay. And back to the full moon just briefly. I mean, the new moon on the 30th in your 2nd house of income brings a new beginning in money. So this is when if there's money that's due you, you're really going to go after it. Okay, it's yours. Why not, right? So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Taurus on the 1st, 27th, 28th, and 29th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign. And your opposite sign is Scorpio, and those dates are the 14th, 15th, and 16th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 9th, 10th, 11th, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The best time for money is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. The best time for your career is the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And the best time for communications and travel is the 4th, 5th, 6th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. So check out my weekly forecasts. If you're new to my channel and you like this video, please comment below and subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell, and you'll be notified each time I upload something. Okay, there's also links below in the description box. There, one to my website and one to another thing called Ask Me a Question, which is just for people who only want to know maybe one or two things about their chart. Okay, so I'll see you next week, and happy birthday.